Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Sid. I'm a current high school senior who's interested in math, machine learning, programming, productivity, and I make videos about all those things and just my general lifestyle as well. Also just random things that pop to mind. In today's video, I'm going to be making a video on different machine learning resources and then ranking those machine learning resources in a tier list to hopefully be able to help you guys figure out what's good material that you can start learning machine learning with, because I've had some requests to start making some more machine learning content. If you want to give me suggestions on what type of content you want to see, then join my Discord. The link will be in the description, and then just spam it with suggestions, but don't actually spam it. Alright, without further ado, let's get straight into actually ranking these tier lists. My timestamps for each of these individual resources will be in the description, so you'll be able to look at them. Let me make my camera smaller. Okay, let's get straight into it. Coursera Courses. So, Coursera, depending on the course, it can be very excellent. It can be really, really good, or it can be, not so good. But in general, Coursera is a pretty good place to find content to learn from. And in particular, I would suggest learning from the Stanford machine learning course on Coursera, because it's pretty well suited towards beginners as long as you knew Python, and it's a very good place to learn not just about machine learning but about anything really, because if you go to Coursera, they have courses on so many different things. So first of all, they have the Stanford machine learning course, and I'll talk about this more in depth in a bit, but they also have a lot more specializations offered by like DeepMind, deep learning, sorry, not DeepMind, and a bunch of different other universities from around the world on courses about machine learning. So some of those are, not so good, but a lot of them are excellent, so I'm going to put Coursera in really good as of right now. But before we go into talking more about machine learning stuff, let's talk about where you can get, the basics of programming and the basics of computer science. And for that, I would suggest, spending some time learning basic Python, and then perhaps, if you want to, learn some algorithms and data structures. So a really good place to start learning basic Python is Sentdex's YouTube channel. He makes amazing videos about Python and neural networks and machine learning and a bunch of different cool things that you can do with Python. And it's actually super useful information. I've learned so much from watching Sentdex's videos, and it's really a treasure. His YouTube channel is a treasure trove of information. So go subscribe to him, and you'll learn a lot. That's one place that you can get the basics for Python programming and syntax. If you want to get, maybe some a solid foundation in data structures and algorithms, I'd suggest that you go towards CLRS, which is this book right here, Introduction to Algorithms. It's an insane book. It's very long. It's like 1,300 pages. It's super in-depth, and it might be a little bit hard to read if you're a beginner at first, and I wouldn't suggest actually learning a lot of data structures and algorithms, because you can jump into machine learning pretty quickly, knowing really only Python. But if you do ever want to learn data structures and algorithms so that you can write better, cleaner code and really think about how efficient your code is, then I suggest reading CLRS. On that note, Geeks for Geeks, I'm going to put in decent. If you don't know what Geeks for Geeks is, it's basically just a website where they have a bunch of articles on algorithms about basically everything. They have algorithms for machine learning, networks, data structures and algorithms, graph algorithms. There's a ton of stuff on there. The quality isn't always that great, but it's a great resource just to have up when you're learning things. Another good place to learn data structures and algorithms is USACO.guide. So the USACO is an American high school computing Olympiad and computing contest. So this is really geared towards that. But if you want to learn data structures and algorithms, this is a great place to start learning that. Again, this isn't really necessary at all if you want to become somebody who does machine learning as a practitioner. So next, let's talk about, actually getting into machine learning really quickly without a lot of background. And if for that, one of the resources available for it is the Google Crash Course in Artificial Intelligence. I attempted the Google Crash Course in Artificial Intelligence, but the teaching style and the way that the resources are put together didn't really vibe with me, so I'm going to put this in the 8 tier. If you want to go and try it out, you can, but I would suggest that looking at some of the other resources on this list that I'm about to talk about shortly will probably be a better use of your time. Okay, now let's move on to talking about MIT's Opencourseware Multivariable Calculus course. If you're looking to get into the math the math of machine learning and deep learning, which I think is something important, you're going to need to know multivariable calculus. And a great place to learn multivariable calculus and a lot of other math, which I'll talk about in a bit, is MIT's Opencourseware. If you don't know, MIT's made a lot of their course material available for free on the internet, along with, you have their lecture notes, you have the exams, you have the textbook and the videos of the lectures. So it's a great place to learn multivariable calc, which is a big part of being able to understand how some machine learning and deep learning algorithms work. So Opencourseware, I'm actually going to put in amazing. Okay. On that same note, Gilbert Strang's linear algebra. There's a linear algebra course on MIT Opencourseware that is taught by Gilbert Strang, who wrote the book that's considered that's considered really great for an introduction to linear algebra and learning linear algebra. So I suggest that you would check that out as well if you want to learn more of the math behind machine learning. So talking a little bit more about the math behind machine learning, but this time taking a look at spelt it wrong. Taking a look at probability and statistics. Wait, that is not where I meant to go. seeingtheory.brown.edu. This is an excellent way to start learning probability and statistics for machine learning. They have great visualizations and great problems to work through on this website, and it's a really great way to get an intuitive and pretty rigorous understanding of the probability and statistics that you would be using in machine learning. It's a great introduction to the subject. And again, I'll have to put this in the amazing tier. There's just so many amazing resources to learn machine learning that to be fair, you can't really go wrong based on what you pick. Because now I have a few more. So Stanford machine learning, this is kind of like, it's the course that everybody recommends. This course, machine learning, Andrew, his course, machine learning Stanford. There it is. This course is kind of the course. 4 million people have taken it. It's the course that people talk about when they're like, oh, you want to get into machine learning, then go look at this one. It's the course. It serves as a great introduction. There's a lot of good information in there, and your first time around, you might not understand all of it, but if you want, you can come back to it at a later time after you actually start implementing stuff, and you'll learn a lot more the second time around. I went through this course like 1.5 times. The first time I didn't understand too much, and the second time around I came back, looked at the resources, and I learned a lot more. So I would definitely recommend taking a look at the Stanford Machine Learning course to understand how you can really get started with machine learning. Next, the Fast.ai Courses. As far as I remember, I don't think Fast.ai actually has any machine learning courses. They have deep learning courses. But all of their courses are so good. They're geared towards people who are, if you've programmed before, but you don't really have a crazy math background or a crazy statistics background, you'll be able to do this course for deep learning by them. It's practical deep learning for coders. They have a ton of videos, and it's a high level course. So you start from a very high level overview, and then you really start to dig into the nuts and bolts of deep learning as you go along. This was my first introduction to deep learning, and I absolutely loved it. I would suggest that you guys take a look at their courses as well, because there's a lot of really interesting things. They have great notebooks and notes, and there's a lot of cool projects that you work on during the course, and it's just really, really awesome. Edx Courses, if you don't know, Edx is another MOOC platform. MOOC stands for like massive open courseware or something. Massively online open courseware. And open courses. And Edx is one of those websites. The courses on Edx I find aren't as great as the ones on Coursera, and that's been my personal experience. So I'm going to put Edx in passable, but there is a lot of there's quite a few good courses on Edx. It's edx.edu, not edx.com. I think it's edx.edu. It's not edx.edu. It's edx.org. But Harvard has a few courses on machine learning and AI and on edX through CS50, and those are pretty good. I think Microsoft has a few. I haven't done any edX courses in a while though, so I wouldn't really recommend it. If you really, really want to get into machine learning quickly, I'd suggest watching Sentdex's videos on learning Python syntax, then moving on to going through the Stanford machine learning course, and then doing some Fast.ai courses to understand deep learning. And then at that point, you can go into learning the math behind it. But I would suggest doing seeding theory at the same time as you're doing Sentdex, so you have an understanding of probability and statistics. But anyways, that's my completed tier list for machine learning resources. And if you have any suggestions on this tier list, any other questions about machine learning, then leave them in the comments. If you have suggestions about videos you would want me to make, then join my Discord server. Link will be in the description. And then just tell me what I need to make videos about in the server suggestions channel. If you enjoyed my content, then make sure to subscribe, like, leave a comment, maybe share it with somebody else who might be interested. And if you're interested, you can follow me on my socials. All those links are in the description. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Have a great day.